West Ham won, Liverpool won. Unfortunately, the Reds go to London and let another 2 points slip from their grasp. Welcome to tonight's Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig. This is the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. And guys, this is your show. It's your time to vent. It's your time to let me know what you want to talk about. I'll give you my opinion as we go through as well. But I understand in situations like these, people want to come on, people want to vent, people want to share their thoughts on a performance. I'm here to facilitate that for you guys. Look, bear in mind, we're going to be hit by trolls. We're going to have opposition fans come in. Everybody's going to want to say, I'm the type of person that I'm willing to give it out. I'm willing to stand up, be bold, make my predictions. And you know what? I'm willing to take my lumps as well. So anybody that comes in tonight and has a go and has a bit of banter, I understand it. I accept it. It's part of the game. I ask you guys in the chat to do the same as well. It's fair game. We're fair game. If you're going to stand up and say we're the Reds, we're here, we're the top of the table, we've got to be willing to take our lumps along the way as well and take a bit of banter with good grace. I'm your host Craig, as I said. Welcome along to tonight's show, guys. I'm going to just start by quickly saying that was a shit show. That was not a performance good enough for a team to be top of the table. We can talk about the fact that Liverpool started this game with 7 injuries. Joe Gomez out, Trent Alexander-Arnold out, Jordan Henderson out, Gini Wijnaldum out, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain out, Ryan Brewster out, and I know I'm missing somebody else along the way as well, Dejan Lovren out. 7 first team players. Our squad was stretched, the squad was right at its limits, but do you know what? We still had players on that field who should have been able to beat West Ham. We still had 11 footballers out there better than those West Ham players. That wasn't good enough from start to finish. There was moments of decent play throughout the game. I thought Naby Keita put in a very good performance from his level. Not good enough to where we want to be, but for the players on the field, I thought Naby Keita tried. He tried to create, he tried to run through the middle, he tried to break. Defence-wise, we can talk about the set pieces in the first half. We just didn't defend them well enough. They pulled the same shit on us 3 times and got away with it 3 times. We can talk about how lucky we were, because I've been on here and I've spoken about refereeing decisions, and I've spoken about how poor the referees are in the Premier League. I've spoken about how they've affected Liverpool and other teams around them. Well, tonight they affected West Ham. They affected Manchester City to an extent, because Liverpool were lucky tonight. We were given an offside goal, a goal that should not have stood. Right at the end of the game, Divock Origi had an opportunity to win it for Liverpool with what would have been another offside goal. I'm somebody that always tries to be honest. I'm going to come on here and tell you guys how I feel about situations honestly. Yes, there will be some Liverpool bias at times, but tonight we were very lucky that we got the rub of the green from the referees. Our performance was dog shit. It's not good enough. It's not good enough, guys. This is your show now. I'm going to hand it over to you guys. I'm going to read your comments. Let me know how you're all feeling. Firmino was not at it, said Ronnie Galloway. It was one of his poorest performances, Ronnie, for Liverpool. For me, unfortunately, mate. Touches were terrible. Slowed down the attacks too many times. It was just one pass, just a one little pass at times. He just wasn't switched on. Keita had enough chances to push for a place. He wasted too many passes. I would slightly disagree, although everybody was wasteful tonight, Blue. I do understand your thoughts, mate. I thought Naby Keita was a bit of a brighter spark, particularly in the second half. He made a couple of runs. He went past players very easily a few times. But again, no centre back. We need a 10. We need a 10 is what we need. We need somebody who can play between the lines, because we don't have that at the minute, and it's very evident that we need it. VVD happy enough with his performance? No, I don't think he was good enough in any sense. No leadership in that back line today at all for me, and I'm not just having to go Van Dijk. I mean, that I can talk about the incidents in the first half time and time again, but we just let people ghost in at the back post. The goal itself, you could see it coming a mile away. Keita, I think it was, in fairness, who lost his runner, and fair play to Antonio, was it, who scored the goal? They crumbled under pressure. Do you know what? I don't feel like that was a pressure-filled performance, Shane. I don't feel like they crumbled under the pressure. I just think they were shit. I know that might not make any sense, buddy, but I don't feel like there was really added pressure on there tonight. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but that didn't seem like a performance of nerves to me. That just seemed like a bad performance. Jay Cummings said, Liverpool spent 300 million since January 2018. Did we? Really? Is that true? I couldn't tell you. Just to bottle it. You're laughing, Jake. Just let me ask you one question, pal. And this is a genuine question. Who's top of the league? I'm very interested to know that, mate. Who's top of the league at the minute? Oh, it's us. Ah, I see. I'd question your 300 million as well since January 2018. I really would. And again, you can say what we spent, and this is just me going back and forth here with you, Jake. What did we rake back in, mate? since January 2018 as well. I know we got 140 odd million for Coutinho, so throwing figures around means jack shit, mate, at the end of the day. But I cannot disagree with anyone that says that we let points drift away tonight. There's no argument. There's no argument. I said it at the start, I'm going to take my lumps on here, but I'm happy to, you know, defend my team as well. Imagine if we got Werner for 38 million. We could deal with him, to be fair. Still think we're going to win the league, Craig? Yes. I'm going to back my boys to the very end, mate. I'm going to back this team right till the end. We're top of the league. We've let 4 points drop in the past 2 games. It's not good enough. No arguments. We're still top of the league. I'm a Man United fan. I think you'll be fine. It's a difficult place to go, said Alkin. Thank you for that, mate. You're trying to make us feel a little bit better. I think we'll be fine as well. The pressure is part of it. If we can't deal with it, we don't deserve to win the league. Jake, you don't understand what pressure is, you fucking gobshite. I'm trying to be nice here, mate, but you're not making it easy. Bottling it is crumbling under pressure. Right, let's have a little talk, Jake. Manchester City, they lost 2 games over Christmas and they lost to Newcastle. So they've dropped more points than us. Does that mean they've bottled it? Because I'm going by your theory, Jake. I'm going by the way you're classing bottling it. Manchester City have dropped 9 points in recent weeks, so they're bottling it as well. So who's going to win the league then? Because everyone's bottling it according to Jake. Do you get where I'm coming from? I can understand we're dropping points, no argument. But bottling it is just an idiot's way of describing it. It was just a shit performance. It had nothing to do with nerves. Liverpool needs to wake up, said Eric Hughes. 100% Eric, you were spot on there, my friend. Craig, you need to open your eyes about Keita. He's horrific. Owen, you need to learn how the game works, mate. Naby Keita was one of our better players tonight. If you cannot see that, then there's no point in us having this conversation. Am I saying that he's the best midfielder in the league? No. But to say tonight that he's horrific is fucking stupid. You're making yourself look silly. Nobody played great for Liverpool tonight, but Naby Keita and Sadio Mane were the 2 standout performers for us. If you can't see that, Owen, then you need to watch a different sport, mate. Because this isn't for you. We need to go back to pressing higher up the field like we've been doing, said Blue. I don't know what the answer is, Blue, mate. I really don't. I don't know. Hopefully somebody in here tonight can give me an answer, or somebody can maybe help me out with why we're seeing that type of performance. Blue Moon said Cam plays, and I respect that, mate. Do you know what? If you're a City fan, welcome to the channel. You're very welcome to be here. You're very welcome to air your views and opinions. Lallana looked alright today. I guess that's a positive, said Tussie. He's a little bit slow, but the footwork for the goal, I have to say, that was sensational. Absolutely sensational. Not being negative, but we're like a shadow of what we were. I know we're top of the league, Craig, but come on, mate, this feels like a bad spell. I'm not going to argue with you, Ebony. That is correct. Last couple of games we haven't been good enough, and we've gotten away with it a little bit, and we've dropped points and we're going through a blip. That's self-evident. I don't think we can argue with that, buddy. I'm not so red-tinted that I'm going to just come and defend stupidity. That was shit tonight. It wasn't good enough. I get where you're coming from. And we're having a blip, but we're also stretched with our squad. Let's not forget that. We haven't been able to put out a consistent side because of defensive injuries, midfield injuries, but we knew this was coming. That's why we went and filled out a squad in the summer. That's why we brought in players. And nobody stood up today and got counted. It's just not good enough. They can come out in the media and they can talk all they want about not letting it get to them and not being nervous, but they got to fucking back it up on the field. And as we all know tonight, they did not back it up on the field. West Ham aren't great. They've got some decent quality footballers. Felipe Anderson is a tremendous footballer. I thought Cresswell played well. I thought Snodgrass actually played okay for them. But we should have been able to beat them, and we weren't. And that speaks volumes for whatever's going on at the minute, because it's just not fucking good enough. People saying Keita was bad. He was the only one trying to bring the ball forward. He was the only one beating players, taking on a man to Moss, as you said, and carrying forward. What happens is, buddy, people have agendas against players. It happens with Jordan Henderson. It happens with Naby Keita. It happened with Dejan Lovren, and they don't reassess these players. They just pigeonhole them and say, well, he's shit and that's the end of that. And they're too blinded to see when a player puts in a performance. There's a lot of those Liverpool players I'm not that fond of. I've never really given you my opinion on specific players I'm not that fond of, because I try to stay positive a lot of the time. I get angry during games and I shout at the television and I shout at the players. But at the end of the day, I'll back them to the death. But all I ask is for people to be honest and look at people fairly. I've called out Jordan Henderson on this channel many times when he's been shit. I've called out Naby Keita when he's been shit. But tonight, Naby Keita was one of the better players. Liverpool missed Gini, which is a good show. Gini Wijnaldum he's very what's the word I'm looking for? Unappreciated, I suppose. He's a very good footballer. City will drop points again, should be fine. We can still win the league, said Josh Webb. Absolutely. There's a title race is on now. There's no arguing that fact. City are in it. Now we've dragged Spurs back into it and the title race is on. It's up to us. That's all I can say. I'm not deluded. I'm not going to come on here and talk shit. Well, I do talk a little bit of shit, but I'm not deluded. The title race is on. Kada is a joke. You are an idiot. Bano won. Actually, do you know what? I'm just going to fuck you out because you've no place in our supporters, mate. That's not even an opinion. It's just you being a dickhead. Firmino's had too many poor games, which I agree with. LFC Gamer. Where else have we got? Everton are shit. Manchester City will walk past them. Liverpool should focus on themselves. That is a very good comment, Shaq, and I agree with what you're saying. It's up to us to just concentrate on what we can do, and all that we can do is concentrate on our games. Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you've said. I fully expect Manchester City to go and beat Everton, and that's me being honest. I expected them to beat Arsenal. I expect them to beat Chelsea at home as well. Liverpool goal was offside, 100%. It was. No argument here for me. We miss Joe Gomez, said Sean-Luke Doherty. Yeah, we do. But to be fair, Matip wasn't really shocking today. I can't really put that performance down to him. Scotty said, I ain't happy because we bring on Origi instead of Sturridge. Sturridge would have finished the chance they've had. Look, to be fair, Scotty, well, I'm trying to think about this from an unangry point of view at the missed opportunity, but we brought on Sturridge in the last game and he did nothing when he came on. Absolutely nothing. So it was probably right to give Origi the chance tonight. I thought Origi actually looked bright when he came on. It's just, it is unfortunate that he missed that chance at the end. It was offside. It shouldn't have been even an opportunity. The flag should have been up, but yeah, it just didn't quite fall for him. But at the same time, it's frustrating. PC Benjamin said, fuck the haters, Craig. We have to smash Bournemouth the weekend. It's back over to us. Pressure's on. If we don't deal with it and these boys don't go out and deal with that pressure, then they don't fucking deserve to win the league. It's as simple as that. I think they will. I think they'll come back around. 13 games to go. We've got to go and try and win 13 games. It's as simple as that. Mane does so much and it's unnoticed by most. He's an absolute workhorse. He's been very, very good over the past few games. We need a top striker desperately, said Lennon Barrett. We do. Yes, we do. Sorry, I don't mean to disagree. But we also, I think, need a number 10. Badly as we need that striker. Dave Sweeney said, there's 13 matches to go. For fuck's sake, relax, boys. It's a bad spell. Alisson hasn't been the Alisson from the start of the season. Nerves a factor. Now, I want to look at this in two segments, if that's okay, Trinian, mate. The goal, I don't think he could have done anything about, if I'm being honest. But at the same time, I did see nerves in Alisson today. And he made a few silly errors. And he did make a few against Leicester as well. So I do understand where you're coming from. Craig, I'm not called Origi anymore. I'm called Firmino. Sorry, pal. Change Everton sucks Liverpool for the win and I'll call you something else. But whilst you have that, we got to call you Origi. Sorry, that's a bit of an inside joke for anyone who doesn't know. When we won the game against Everton, this gentleman here, Everton sucked Liverpool for the win. We needed to shorten his name because it was too long. And he went for Origi, and now he wants to be called Firmino. And nah, I don't know. We'll have to put that one to a vote, I think. Spurs isn't in the title race. I would agree to an extent, but whilst they're only 2 points behind City, who are now only 3 points behind us, you would have to give them the respect to say that they technically are in the title race. I believe they'll drop off as well, for those of you who are saying that. I do. I'm just trying to be respectful to their club at the minute. DL Holland said that he's more worried about Spurs than Manchester City. We need to stop doubting. We've still got this positive mindset, said Jack Whitaker. Origi is our only hope. Then we're fucked. We have to win every game from now or hope for City to lose. Look, we'll drop points before the end of the season and City will drop points before the end of the season. But the race is on. Title race is on. There's no two ways about it. But we're still on top, thankfully. And if we can get through this blip on top, it's going to be difficult. We've got tough games to go. We've got to go away to Manchester United. We've got Spurs at home. Everton's a gimme, to be fair, when you go there because they're muck. But we do have some difficult games to play. So do Manchester City. Whoever wins this title is going to deserve it, and they're going to have earned it. And you've got to take it with good grace. Do you miss Coutinho? The short answer is yes. The long answer is I think we've improved the squad and the first team without Coutinho. Would we have liked to have kept somebody like Coutinho and had Virgil van Dijk there and Fabinho? Yes, but I think the money from Coutinho was well invested. What else we got? Manchester City are the bookies' favourites to win the league at 8-11. Liverpool 11-10. Fair enough. I mean, you can understand their way of thinking. These draws are killing us, said Romeo KGT. They certainly are, mate. It's not great for the old ticker, is it? Craig, be honest, does FSG have ambition? How the hell has this got anything to do with FSG? I don't understand that question one bit. Do you not think that they've backed this manager? Because I feel they really have. We've broken the world record for a defender. We brought in Fabinho. We brought in Naby Keita. He brought in a world record for a goalkeeper. I believe that that's backing the manager. And I believe there was doubts over FSG. And Liverpool dropping points in the last 2 games has got nothing to do with the owners, mate. So I feel it's a little bit harsh now to suddenly turn this back around and try and question the owners. I believe, yes, they have ambition. They've built a new stand. They're building a £50 million training facility. They've backed the manager. These are Klopp's decisions. Klopp decided to let Klein go. That's down to him. It was Klopp's call to let Coutinho go. The ownership were quite happy to keep him here if that's what Klopp wanted. I'm not an FSG lover. I'm just trying to be fair. To talk about the owners now, I feel is silly. It's got nothing to do with them, why we're in this position. It's down to injuries, bad play, and that's pretty much where I am with it, pal. Last 2 games we struggle as hell when the other team go deep. And we go ahead. That's the really frustrating part. We go ahead, and earlier on in the season we were seeing these games out. We were able to go on and defend a 1-goal lead. Today, the goal we conceded was embarrassing. But it is what it is. If City go on top, they won't let it go. Do you honestly, does anybody in this chat feel Manchester City are going to win 13 games in a row between now and the end of the season? That's an honest question. Because I don't. Nor do I feel Liverpool will do it, by the way. So I don't think you have to say if City go top, they won't let it go. It's getting into the part of the season now, Jay, where they have a shit ton of games coming up, mate. I mean, we both have Champions League coming up. They've got the FA Cup coming up. They've got the League Cup final coming up. And no doubt they might have their own injuries as well along the way. And yes, they probably have a deeper squad than ours, but it's a title race. We've got to deal with it. If we don't deal with it, we don't deserve to win it. It's as simple as that. Ray says, lads, we're on top of the league. Again, Ray, I'm with you, pal. I'm not doubting my boys at all. I'm just giving an honest assessment of today's game, which wasn't good enough. I still believe, says Wasim. Love it, mate. Love it. LFC Gamer said, I don't understand, Craig. Why can't the atmosphere be the same in the Premier League as it is in the Champions League? Always makes the difference. I think sometimes the night games and the lights have a little bit to do with it. And there's a little bit of glory around Champions League, isn't there? Sometimes if it's at 11 o'clock or half 11 start, or 12 o'clock on a Saturday, or 2 o'clock on a Sunday, it's tough to get that same atmosphere as there is at night time. That's the only thing I can put it down to. Sheldon Cooper is a legend. He damn well is. He absolutely is. We love Sheldon. City are going to win the league, said Daniel Harrison. I don't know what to say, but none of us know who's going to win the league at this point. You think City, we think Liverpool. Let's just may the best team win. That's all I can say. Tommy Robinson, really, Jake? I mean, come on. Yeah, that's silly. 2 games in a row, Robbo cost us a goal. And trying to think back today to the goal. It was Keita who lost his man, to be fair, for the goal. Or did he give away the free kick? Maybe that's what you're talking about. I'm not sure. I can't remember who did give away the free kick, actually. Okay, what else have we got? Klopp's actually blaming the bubble machine. Ah, come on. Seriously? That's bad form. If I don't know what he said because I haven't seen the post-match interview, but that's bullshit. He can't blame the officials tonight. We can't, as Liverpool fans, blame the officials. We got one from the officials today. We got a goal that shouldn't have been a goal. I mean, let's be fair about it. It seems like everyone's going to bend over for them to stop us. I don't think Everton and City are going to bust balls against them. The United will treat like a Champions League final. Look, again, all we can do, Graham, mate, is take care of our own games and let other people deal with Manchester City. We don't play Manchester City again this season in the Premier League, so all we can do is concentrate on the 3 games that we have coming, or excuse me, the 13 games that we have coming up in the league. Everything else is out of our hands. Jack Ryan said, per performance yet again, we'll lose at Old Trafford and City will take over and downhill from here. Jesus Christ, great to see you've got faith in the team anyway, Jack. Bottling it against United already, just bending over and giving it to them, and yet people have the cheek to moan and say other teams are going to bend over for Man City when you've just basically said your own team are going to just bend over for United. I disagree, mate. Is it going to be a tough game? 100%. It's going to be very difficult at Old Trafford, but why just say we're going to fucking lose at Old Trafford, mate? I don't get it. I don't get, as a fan, why you go into a game expecting that. Thank God you're not on the fucking pitch anyway. I hate evening games other than Champions League, said Connor. I love them. I absolutely adore night games. Right, some more comments. Where was it? There was one other Connors I want to get to. Guys, by the way, thank you to everyone that subscribed today. If you're new to the channel, we really do appreciate it. And if you have a moment and you're in and you haven't yet subscribed, please do hit that button. We've passed 8,000 subscribers, which is an amazing achievement for us, and we're so thankful for that one. And welcome to all the new people that have subscribed. I hope you continue to enjoy the channel. Not a great night tonight to be the first night in it if you are new, but welcome and thank you for joining us. I just had a fight in Discord. They backed out and said I'm not arguing with a kid. Look, there's gonna be. I'm staying off Twitter for 100%. I'm not going near Twitter. I can't put my head down that rabbit hole. I can almost smell the hate and anger from here. Louis Roberts said it's going to be an up and down ride. Both teams will drop points. Missed the game. Can you give a quick recap? Let me try and do that actually. Mane scored a good goal. Was offside. They had a couple of set pieces that we let them in time and time again. Pulled the same shit. They should have scored a couple. Second half, they got deeper and deeper. We attacked. No penetration. Right at the last second, ball played through to Origi. He was offside. Flag stayed down. Origi hit it straight at the keeper. Not good enough. Ponton soccer, mate, is all I can say. And you didn't miss much by not watching the game. Paul Gormley said rubbish tonight, Craig. Yes, Paul, I agree, mate. It's not good enough. And we have every right to be angry. We have every right to look at that and say that those players are capable of more. We're not on here to... I mean, I defend the team and I will defend the team and the club, but I'm not an idiot. I can't look at that performance and think that it was acceptable. It wasn't. That wasn't the performance that this team are capable of. And the last game wasn't good enough either. Against a very good Leicester side. I give Leicester credit. They're an excellent side. But we got to be putting these teams away. Particularly at home against Leicester. Yes, we can say we didn't get a penalty, but today we got a goal that we shouldn't have. This was not good enough. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I know we had 7 players out. I know our squad was stretched to the limit, but we still should have been good enough to beat West Ham. Don't think this squad of players will win the league, said Paul. Look at it this way, mate. If you're talking about it as a squad, and I've just said that they weren't good enough, we're talking about 7 players being injured as well. We're going through a bit of a horrific phase at the minute. Thankfully, you're not talking a Van Dijk injury, a Salah injury, an Alisson injury. So we've been lucky to an extent. And who's been injured? We haven't had what we'd call the spine of the team really injured. But we do have Henderson out, Gini out, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain out, Trent Alexander-Arnold out, Dejan Lovren out, Joe Gomez out, Ryan Brewster out, and I've probably missed one somewhere as well. Okay, what else we got? We're going to win the league still. Love it, Sean Luke. That's the attitude. Can anyone in the chat who got a man of the match? Oh, as in really man of the match? I don't know. Who did Sky give man of the match to? Does anybody know? Can anyone let us know? It's because of the snow, said Mick. Love it. Love it. Yeah, we'll take that. It's because of the snow. I'll use that happily. How was the second half? Did Liverpool create chances to score? No clear-cut ones until right at the end, but Salah came into it a bit more. Nothing clear-cut. I wouldn't say we missed sitters or anything like that. Mighty Lad said we were hopeless. JB said it wasn't Keita. Man lost for the goal. It was Robbo's. Keita just tried to catch him. Okay, well, if that's the case, mate, thank you for clearing that up for me. All I seen was him just go past Keita. I didn't see what happened before that one, so thank you for clearing that up. I don't think the linesman understood the offside rule. Obviously not. And it goes to what I've said. The referees or the officials in the Premier League are just not good enough for the job. Anderson was man of the match. You know what? I can't argue with that. I thought he was very good today. Very lively, very bright every time he got the ball. Yeah, he's a good player, Felipe Anderson. Credit where it's due. What happened to the boys? Attack, said Vinnie Johnston. I don't know, mate. I don't know. They need to. They've come out in the media and said that the nerve aren't going to get to them, blah blah. Well, they need to fucking show that on the field. Unfortunately, they need to start going out there with a big set of cojones on them and going at teams. I mean, if we have to go back to last season where we just fucking attacked to try and get this over the line, then do it. But something needs to be done. I have a feeling there's going to be a clear the air conversation. I have a feeling the boys are going to sit down and they're going to talk this through, and they're going to try and pick out what they're doing wrong. They're going to try and find ways of solving it, and all we can do is back them and back Jurgen Klopp and those players to sort this shit out. Again, we've dropped points. We didn't lose. That's not great. I mean, I'm trying to pick out any positives I can here. We still only lost one game this season from 35 games. Or 25 games, excuse me, 25 games. Who played the best from each team? Felipe Anderson, I thought he was good. As I said, Cresswell I thought was good. For Liverpool, probably Keita and Mane from my side. Man City will win the league. Liverpool are bottle jobs just like Spurs, said the Londoner, who's obviously... You're defo Brexit, mate, aren't you? Tell the truth. You can see from your fucking Union Jack flag, you're defo Brexit. And who do you support, if you don't mind me asking? The Londoner. I'd love to know who you support, because if you're in London, maybe you're a West Ham fan, maybe you're an Arsenal fan, maybe you're a Spurs fan. I don't know. Maybe you're a Chelsea fan and you're just that fucking unlucky. But either way, I'd love to know who you support. And remember, Brexit means Brexit. Rival fans, get this in your heads. We don't care if our goal was offside. I mean, I couldn't give a shit, to be fair. I'm a hypocrite. I'll be furious if it was against us, and I'll fucking take it if it's for us. Should have been a loss, said the tactical show. Disappointed to hear. It was, unfortunately. Honest thoughts on Divock Origi. I've said all along he's not good enough for the team. I've said, never mind his goal against Everton, which was brilliant. He's just not good enough. I've said that since last summer. Shouldn't be here. Not good enough to be at Liverpool. I think Divock Origi will have a good career. I think when he gets to 26, 27, he'll probably become a much better footballer. But at the moment, he's not up to our standards, and we'll see him moved on in the summer. At least we're not losing. Still hope in our heart, said Carl Collins. And thank you to everyone who let me know who got man of the match. Although JB thinks it's Antonio, but everybody else said it's Felipe Anderson. Gomez was really unlucky from a careless challenge. It is sad. I mean, he's got to go and have surgery now to help heal the fracture in his leg, and it's so unfortunate for Joe Gomez. He's been really unlucky with injuries. Not enjoying being on top. Can't enjoy games in case we drop points. I mean, I'd rather be on top and worrying about it than playing catch up and hoping. If that helps. Connor said grass was too green. It confused us. I mean, clear. Obviously, Connor. Obviously. I'm with you, man. This is not Liverpool we know, and Klein on loan was a mistake, which I've said since it happened. I absolutely agree with that. The man of the match is the referee for missing the offside. Felipe Anderson is too good for West Ham. We'll get the last laugh. It's ours to lose, said Sonia. Gomez had the surgery and is on his way back, said Klopp. Good news, and hopefully he comes back soon. I'm a Scouser from Huyton in Liverpool. Love what you're doing, mate. That's very kind of you, mate. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name because there's too many D's and J's. But really, mate, thank you so much. Really kind of you to say that. I hope you continue to enjoy it. We've been accused of bottling it before, but oh yeah, we won't talk about the bus incident, mate. We don't talk about cans of Copperberg or anything. Do not slip up now, Liverpool, lol. The Londoner thinks he's funny, but the truth of it is, and I don't mind a bit of banter, but the truth of it is, you're unoriginal. You're clearly not intelligent enough to come up with a decent slagging or a decent bit of banter, mate. So, as I said, don't slip up. Haha, so original. Well done to you, the Londoner. The most unoriginal comment of the night so far from clearly somebody with the IQ of a fucking banana. Man of the match was me, since I wasn't playing. I have 100% record, said John Hamilton. Did you get your bottle of champagne, John? Are you sharing it, buddy? Klopp needs to get his yellow teeth back. Bring back the yellow teeth. Malone said should have kept Hodgson, would have won the championship by now. Oh, they honestly, of all the times we've supported Liverpool, those were the darkest days I can remember. Fucking Hodgson. Oh, I still get shivers. Don't you just enjoy the banter? Look, I've said if you dish it out, you've got to take it, and I dish it out, and I have to take it. I don't mind people coming in and bantering, but the slip stuff is just childish. I mean, I like a bit of originality. So, are we playing Bournemouth on Saturday? Yes, at home. I think it's Saturday anyway. Don't on the day. Don't. Let me just check that for you, just to double check. I think it's Saturday, but bear with me. I don't want to be giving out false information. I already talk enough shite without giving out false facts, so bear with me 2 seconds. Yes, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock on Saturday. Noble did a good interview and wants Liverpool to win the league. He said City's won it too many times. Yeah, they've won it too many times. Nah, in fairness too, fair play. Anderson would be a good signing for Liverpool, said John Bale. What's up with VVD, said Corey. I don't know, mate. I was a bit frustrated with him tonight. He was hitting some ridiculous diagonals to nobody. It's like he was panicking a little bit. Can't be negative. Liverpool always come back. We don't do it the easy way, Carl. That's for certain, mate. We never do it the easy way. We never do anything the easy way as a club. Saturday at home, said Lee Bryce with regard to the Bournemouth game. Salah was a ghost today. Yeah, I mean, at the same time, he needs the service and he was having to come deep to try and make things happen. I think Firmino was just a link that just wasn't there today, and when you have one player out of the three not really on form and things going through him, it can affect it, but I understand where you're coming from. Must be banter. One of your fans said beat United 5-0. That would be a bit optimistic, to be fair. We're going to hammer Bournemouth 9-0 and we'll beat United 3-0. I mean, I love the optimism. I mean, Bournemouth usually you would say would be a game that would suit Liverpool, because Bournemouth are a team that just refuse not to come and play football. Like, they try and play the right way, but I mean, if we go head to head with them, we still need to be fucking better than that tonight. I mean, if we go and play like that tonight against Bournemouth, the way Bournemouth can play, and they're a good side, I mean, I'd be worried. So I'm expecting much better from us, although I expected better from us tonight. I mean, I mean too much there. Let's go back here. We went on our trip to Dubai last year when we had the break as well. If I remember correctly, we didn't come back too well. So what the fuck happens? The whole point of this is that they're supposed to get rest, recuperation and time to work on things. Time to plan things out. And it just hasn't been working out since that's happened. We need to stop panicking and start putting a run together. I don't think tonight was anything to do with panic. I didn't see that in them. I didn't see nerves. I just seen a poor performance. It didn't look like a nervy performance to me. It looked like they had there was no long balls being hit at the end. They were trying to play their way in. It seemed like a team that were trying to do their job. It just wasn't working for them. They just weren't able to get things ticking. That's what I seen tonight personally. I predict we beat Bournemouth 2-0, said Will. Man City, a billionaire club, should win everything. I think they're going to buy the title again. I have my own strong views, Carl, on Manchester City and their business. Their team, their players, their manager, excellent. I mean, really good footballers, very good manager, played game the right way, play nice, attractive football. We could talk about the business side of things and the way, you know, I could break that down a little bit for you, but I don't feel this is the time to do it because it would just sound salty. And the fact of the day is we've taken our medicine, 2 shit performances in a row, just 2 points from the Reds. We've dropped 4 and we've let Manchester City get a sniff again. It's down to us. Funny, isn't it, mate? Everyone trying to take the piss out of us when we're still top of the league. Exactly. I'm somebody that tries to think of things very matter of fact. So I'm thinking back to before the Newcastle game, before Manchester City played Newcastle, we had a 4-point lead. We've had a blip now, we've gone through this and we're at a 3-point lead. It's not technically, if you break it down in black and white, the worst thing in the world, but unfortunately there is pressure that comes and there is doubts that can creep in. It's up to the manager to sort this shit out, keep those doubts out, keep these players motivated and get us through. Matip, Lovren, Moreno, Lallana all need to go. I'm an Arsenal fan and I'd rather you win the league than City, said Jake Morgan. Thank you, Jake. And do you know what, mate? I've said this before. I can't understand, apart from Manchester United and Everton, why anybody wouldn't want Liverpool to win the league over Manchester City. I just don't understand it. From the point of view of the way the club is run, the way that we've went about building up our squad, the way we don't fucking cheat the rules, I would expect people to want Liverpool to win the league. I said this before. If we were dropped out of this completely and it was Spurs and City, I'd want Spurs to win the fucking league because they're a club trying to do things the right way. And I despise everything Manchester City stands for, just as I despise everything that Paris Saint-Germain stand for. It's completely wrong and it's disgusting. That's my opinion. But as I said, that's nothing to do with the players and the manager because they're just employees and the manager and the players have done nothing wrong. Obviously, look, we've got a Manchester City fan, and I am being a bit of a dick here, but judging by the fact that I'm guessing you're from Dubai, somewhere around that neck of the woods, you probably only heard of Manchester City about 5 or 6 years ago, and now you're giving it the whole blue moon bullshit. To be fair, mate, we can see right through you. Well, I can see right through you, and I'm calling you out on it because you probably had a Chelsea jersey 4 years ago. United fans piping up, look, we're your team. I don't get the United fan shit. I mean, I'm baffled by this. What this has to do with United, I don't get. It's between us and City, and for United it should be a catch-22. Either way, for United it should be terrible. But it's banter and you've got to take it. It's part of the game. What do you think has to change to be better? Not counting injured players, because injuries can obviously not be magically healed. It's a very, very good question, Class Crasher, and I'd like to give you an answer, but I don't know because I'm not there. All I can see is the performances. I think we need to roll the dice a bit more. We need to not wait till the last 20 minutes to ramp it up. We need to just go for it at this moment in time. We're just being too patient, I think. Just run at them. We've got players who can run at players. I think we need to start running at them. I think we need to start trying to get players down the line rather than trying to play diagonal balls and win second balls. Move the ball quicker in midfield. Try and get somebody to start playing between the lines. I don't know who that might be, looking at the squad. Again, it's very simplistic for me from the outside, just completely guessing, but I don't know what's going on in the dressing room. Shamrock Rovers could beat Liverpool, and they really couldn't. They really couldn't, mate, to be fair. I mean, have you seen League of Ireland? I'm Irish, I watch it a bit. Shamrock Rovers are dirt. I mean, the only clubs who were anyway decent, Cork City and Dundalk. 4-3-3 we should have started with, said Scotty. United have, I don't even want to talk about United. It's got nothing to do with them. When does Alexander-Arnold and Gini come back? I'd say the next game, Nathan. I would say we're that close that they'll probably be... Will they be ready for Bournemouth? I'd hope so. I think so. Liverpool spent huge this season. Really? Huge? Did we? Really? Who did we bring in? Fabinho? Keita? Who else did we bring in this season? Shaqiri? Van Dijk was last summer. Robertson was before that. Oxlade-Chamberlain before that. Yeah, did we? Really? I don't know. We spent 100 and... I'm trying to think off the top of my head. 130 million maybe, something like that. Yeah, I suppose it is big enough, to be fair. And look, we've no excuses squad wise. I'm not making an excuse. We've spent plenty of money. I said all along, we've enough players there and good enough players that we should be challenging. Jurgen Klopp has no excuses. Look at the points, clear top of the table, the toughest league in the world, only 13 games left. We're just taking a bit of a rest and lulling everyone to a false hope. United don't even have anything to bottle this year. Oh, they're still in the Champions League, to be fair. The same set piece we conceded was very similar to the one we lost against Leicester. Keita was bang average tonight. No, he wasn't. Again, I don't know what game you were watching. You want to talk about bang average tonight? Van Dijk, bang average. Firmino, bang average. Salah, average. Maybe a little bit above average. Fabinho, average. Milner, average. keeper, average. The decent players tonight were Keita, Mane. Was there anybody else? Robertson did bits down the left side, but nothing great. So again, bullshit comment, Sean. That's completely unfounded. The final pass was poor. Yep, absolutely. Time and time again as well. Not just once, every fucking time. James Milner has now got 81 assists in the Premier League, the 7th most in the competition, and one more than David Beckham, which is, it's a nice stat. Doesn't really make us feel much better at this moment in time, but yeah, it's nice. Now you'll see the real character of these players. Time to stand up in difficult positions and see Liverpool's character is true. I mean, you don't fucking win the league if you don't deserve it, and these guys gotta grow a pair now and stand up. Simple as that. We quite a high line on free kicks, which isn't unusual, Ben, but tonight, I mean, we should have learned from the first one. We didn't, and they did 3 of them. Then got to the back post twice more after that. It was amateur defending. What did you think of Matip tonight? I thought he was all over the place. He stepped forward quite well, although he did lose it on one occasion. But he was trying. Van Dijk, I thought, was more of a problem today than Matip, if I'm being honest. I fancy Chelsea against City, said these nuts. I'm hoping, like the rest of us, I really do hope that they can do us a favour. Craig, we need you to play number 10 role for Liverpool. You don't, mate. You really don't. Will Trent be playing against Bournemouth? I think so, Scotty, but don't hold me to that. Origi should get picked more. Firmino looks tired. Firmino wasn't great, but Origi isn't great either, Aaron. But he did look a little bit brighter when he came on, to be fair. He was a bit more full of running. Matip carried out the back a lot. I thought he did alright, said Sean W. If we lose the league, it'll be down to Klopp. I mean, he has to take some responsibility. I mean, in fairness, he's got no excuses. He's got a good enough squad. It's also, I mean, I'm somebody who doesn't just blame it all on the manager. It's down to the fucking players. I mean, they're earning enough money as well. If all comes to the worst, it's partly down to Klopp, agreed, but it's also down to the players. But why are we talking about ifs? Why are we talking about negatives? We're still top of the league. Let's not forget that. Still top of the league. Not the way we want to be top of the league, granted, but still top of the league. What about Fekir as a creative midfielder in the summer? I don't think that one's going to happen, pal. And I'd love it to, don't get me wrong. I've always thought that when it didn't happen that summer, it wasn't happening. Van Dijk had his worst game, said Khalid. We need to attack, said Sarah. Rod's given us a positive. The main thing is that Markovic is happy elsewhere, which is great, which is true. I've said it time and time again, Kate is letting the team down. What game were some people watching tonight? I'm absolutely baffled. I'm questioning some people's not knowledge of the game. Well, I suppose I am. You're just using stuff from previous games and throwing it out again, trying to sound intelligent, but you're looking like a fool. Keita was grand today. He was one of our better players. So stop trying to jump on the bandwagon and sound like you're an intelligent fan. You clearly didn't watch the game or haven't got a fucking clue, because Keita was far from crap. This stuff pisses me off. It's like the Henderson stuff. People just, no matter what a player does, if the result doesn't go one way, it's down to one of these two players' faults. It's either Henderson's fault, Lovren's fault, or Keita's fault. If we win, it's everybody else. It's everyone else is responsible for the win. But when we lose, it's only these players. Pick one and then blame them. It's fucking hilarious. Take your rose-tinted glasses off, or your biased glasses off, and look at the players and be fair about their performances, because I can promise you that Naby Keita was far from the worst player on that field tonight. Far from it. Man City are going to catch the Red Wimps. Fair enough, John. I mean, I gather you're probably a United fan, gunning for Manchester City to win the league, so fair fucks to you, mate. It must be lovely wanting your City rivals to win the league, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're just a fan of another club who wants a club that are financially doping, cheating, and I could tell you a lot more, mate. But either way, if you want Manchester City to win the league, then that says more about you, pal, than it does about us. When Oxlade-Chamberlain is back, I think the midfield will be perfect. So do I, Ben. I think Fabinho, Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain are probably the the midfield for the future for this team. Okay, some more comments. Sorry guys, I'm trying to catch up with as many of your comments as I can. I understand people are obviously pretty emotional tonight and want to vent, and I'm trying to give you a chance to vent. Salah's starting to take the piss. I mean, fuck you. Honestly, that's where I'm at now with your stupid comments downtown. Do you understand what "you'll never walk alone" means? Do you understand anything about support? I mean, you're the most fair weather fan I've come across, so time for you to go bye-bye. You don't deserve to have your comments read out. You don't deserve an opinion, to be fair, if that's the way you treat a club that you're supposed to support. It's talking about people taking the piss, mate. You have taken the piss more than anybody else tonight and shown yourself up. Shame on you, pal. Shame on you. God, I sound like such a parent there. Shame on you. Shame on you. I've seen the word Allison a lot. I'm sorry, I don't know what it means. Somebody probably asked a question that I missed out on. Craig, Liverpool were a disaster today. We were, mate. At least you're not pulling anybody out. The whole team was shit. That's fair enough. There's no arguing with that. Honestly, I don't know why we sold Klein. Sorry to be that guy, but we loaned him. But yes, you're right. He shouldn't have been loaned out. He should be here. None of us understand that one, Yambo. None of us. You think money is all that won titles? Liverpool spend much. City only bought Mahrez. I mean, no, I'm not saying that at all, mate. And City didn't only buy Mahrez last summer, if I remember correctly. But no, to be fair, we probably outspent City last summer. And no, I don't think it's just money that buy titles. No, not at all. Have no problem with the players at City or the manager. None whatsoever. My problem is much more in depth than that, mate. It goes to the accountancy of the club, the way the sponsorship is being rerouted and lied about, the way they're breaking financial fair play rules, human rights issues. It goes much, much deeper than that. I've nothing against Pep Guardiola and the players of Manchester City. It's got fuck all to do with them. They're employees of a club and they're there doing their job. I hold no resentment or anger towards them whatsoever. They're doing their job and doing it very well. Miss Genie and Henderson tonight, which I agree with. Liverpool lack creativity from midfield. Absolutely agree with that. Is it Andicia? Excuse me if I mispronounce your name, but I agree with your comment. Keita did really good dribbles and beat a couple of players as well. I thought he did alright. Someone put LSD in the bubble machine. I mean, there you are. Solution. Rod, you've nailed it. LSD in the bubble machine. To be fair, if they knew that, there'd probably be a few of the old Reds fans there stuck in the bubble machine trying to get an L drop. Excuse me, guys. I had to have a drink. My voice is wrecked from that game. Larry Leach is in the house. How are you, sir? I'd still rather be with us than when all is said and done, said Larry. Of course, we're still top of the league. It's still in our hands. City had their blip. They're coming back. We've had having our blip. It's down to us to come back at it. It's as simple as that. Liverpool never die, said Nut Boy Scout. Nice one, mate. I agree. Thank you for that. I love a bit of positivity. Not worried that we drew, said Jason Sumagum. A bit more concerned though that we've not created any chances in the last two games. Any theories why? No, nobody other than the no number 10 or nobody to play in between the lines. And we've had to see Naby Keita carry the ball forward a lot, which is his job, to be fair. But we've also had to see Salah come deep, Firmino come deep, Mane come deep to try and make things happen. So they've come deep and then they run at the players. They try and play a 1-2 to get in and around the defence. It might happen once in a blue moon, and it really does involve precise passing and everything to go right. Maybe even a ricochet. But other than that, it's side to side, diagonal, long diagonal. It's very predictable. It's the same patterns of play over and over again, and it's very easy for opposition teams to set up against. So I've no idea why we're not creating, mate, except for the few things I just said. But even at that, the way I'm looking at this is through very simplistic fan eyes. It's probably much, much, much more technical than I'm looking at or able to describe. This team has got an inferiority complex after losing Europa and Champions League finals. I don't think we do, personally. Champions League final, we lost the 3-time winners and lost their best player in the first 20 minutes. That was unlucky. Europa League final, we bottled. No argument, none whatsoever. We should have beaten Sevilla, we bottled it. No argument whatsoever there. Have to disagree. Keita looks out of place massively, not too comfortable on the ball, loose pass and is lacking confidence. Every other game, Mackenzie, every other game, I would agree with you. Tonight, though, I would disagree. I thought he was much better tonight. But still hasn't hit the heights that we need. I would completely understand this one. Lee Newman, seems like he's a United fan by his logo, said Liverpool will still win the league. I hope so, Lee, and I agree. Liverpool have tough games ahead. Thinking who we have. Bournemouth. Then, of course, we've got Champions League games. United away. Yeah, but we've got very similar games to Manchester City, interestingly enough. Mane was definitely one of the few alright players today, which I agree with. How many games after United? I think 11. I can't remember the fixtures off the top of my head. Higuain, first goal in Manchester City. He's already scored 2, pal. Scored 2 the other day in the league. If I'm honest, I'm worried for the United game. Oh look, there's no doubt that's going to be a difficult game. I mean, it was always going to be a difficult game, no matter what points we had, because United away is one of the toughest games of the season. And they're not going to do us any favours, of course they're not. And they're flying at the minute. We need to put more crosses into the box from different angles. Yes, I agree with that, and not just long diagonals. We need to get to the byline and try and pull things back towards the back post, get players across the 6-yard box. I'm starting to get impatient with Keita, another person who seems to be having a go at one of our better players today. Yes, I agree with Keita. Every other game, he hasn't been good enough. But today, I thought he showed improvement. It was that loss against City. If Sané hadn't scored that goal, Manchester City would have crumbled. Look, Will, it was a tough game. It's the width of a post. Sané's went in off the post, ours came back out off the post. But that's football, unfortunately. And you have to take your lumps, as they say, and move on. The midfield is too slow. Hendo gets stick, but we need him and Genie. Definitely too slow today. Thomas, definitely agree with that. Firmino frustrates me. Today he was dog shit, David. I love Bobby, he's my favourite player at the club, but I have to be honest, today he was terrible. We're missing Gomez and Trent. I'll never understand why we loaned out Klein, said Ferno. Pal, I'm with you. And I think most Liverpool fans, I've yet to come across a Liverpool fan who thinks that was a good idea. None of us get it. Lallana is a great player, just needs fitness. I've lost that comment actually, sorry, see who wrote it. I thought his footwork, I know the goal was offside, but from Lallana's perspective, the footwork to get that ball through to James Milner was just unbelievable. Oh, it was Jacob. Thank you, Jacob, for your comment. Right guys, where have we got? Man United are back and I'm happy about that, but Liverpool are on another level, said Lee Newman. Not at the minute, Lee, but I get where you're coming from, pal, but at the minute we need to sort ourselves out. Craig, I'm pissed, but we need to believe, said Ant O'Terry. I'm with you, pal. We're all pissed. I'm absolutely fucking furious, but I'm with you. We've got to believe. What's the point in not? We're still top of the league. Although our gap has been cut right down to 3 points, we're still top of the league. Sound, there were other players that were below par and Keita. He did show some flashes of brilliance, but his touch reaction are still off. Yeah, look, he's not up to the levels, Jason. I'm not going to absolutely just write the guy a free pass. But he's coming on. I've seen a little bit more from him today. Trent, we need to get back. The defence will hopefully fix itself after today. Alisson hasn't been himself recently. Again, Ferner, mate, I agree with you on that comment. A few people have mentioned that one tonight. Can't believe Origi missed. At the time I was fucking screaming at him, but it was a little bit close to his body for him to open up to get much width on it. But yeah, it was tough, wasn't it, right at the end? You knew there was going to be a chance somewhere. It's just he didn't take it, simple as that. And he was offside as well, if we're being honest. Alisson should have closed down Antonio for the second goal. It depends. If he comes out, Antonio has a chance to lift it over him, particularly if he goes to the ground. It's a tough one to judge. I can understand where you're coming from. It's certainly a fair comment. I'm just trying to make an argument from the keeper's perspective as well. It was a great strike, by the way, away from the keeper in off the post. Klein wanted game time, so Klopp loaned him out. That's fair enough, Louis, but we could need him. Look at us now. We could have done with Nathaniel Klein. And what makes it extra odd is he put in such a good shift against United just before he got loaned out. But Lallana needs more games. His Cruyff turns and footwork tonight were phenomenal. He was a little bit slow though, Willow. That was the only thing. And you're right, that becomes through lack of game time. I mean, there's no surer thing than that. It was just he wasn't up to speed. But his footwork is ridiculously good, as you said. Why don't we play Fabinho right back? I don't. To be fair, like if we did play Fabinho right back, do you think he was going to keep up with Felipe Anderson? Because it was the pace that was the problem of Felipe Anderson. It wouldn't have mattered who we had it right back there, unless maybe you had a Gomez. But even at that, Felipe Anderson is ridiculously quick. Man City will go top on Wednesday. Yeah, probably. In all honesty, probably. But we'll go top then again on Saturday, so it'll be fine. They will go top though on Wednesday. I fully agree with that comment. I expect them to go and beat Everton, but at the same time, I expect us to win and get a 3-point gap. I know you're praying that Liverpool fall apart, but I'm a Liverpool fan and I'm going to believe in this team right till the end. Jose said, I think if City go top, we'll step our game right up. Thank you very much, Jose, for that, and thank you for the super chat, buddy. Are you Bateson 87? Nah, I'm just a B-Tech Bateson, Lewis, just a B-Tech Bateson, mate. I dream of Bateson. Really, I don't even know who the fuck he is, to be honest. Somebody had to tell me that he was some fucking gamer or something. I've seen the guy and I'm a bit better looking, to be fair, Lewis, than Bateson. And I think we're both pretty cunty, to be fair, so it's a good show. I've also been called Dara O'Brien Gru from Despicable Me. Who else have I been called? Uncle Fester is another favourite. The White Malteser, actually, that's probably my favourite one. I did enjoy that one. Do you think if we changed the style of play, we'd score more like last season? It's kind of that payoff, isn't it, between attacking and defending, or trying to shore up at the back and back in the forwards to score. We did. Yeah, look, it's frustrating, isn't it? I could say go attack, but Klopp could come back and say then we're leaving ourselves exposed at the back. So it's just fucking frustrating at the minute. Firmino is lazy. Flicking the ball to the opposition's not good enough. I mean, there was no excusing some of those touches tonight and his passes. And laziness is probably the right word for that. I wouldn't call him lazy as a footballer because he works hard, but it was a bit arrogant at times tonight with some of his touches, and they just weren't good enough. And it was very simple, some of the passes he needed to play. I don't know what's up. I love Bobby. As I keep saying, he's my favourite player. Allison's kid is on the way. Maybe that's why he lacks form. I don't see how that would really affect him, but I don't know. He's definitely looked a little bit nervy recently. I fully believe that if the game needs creativity in the Old Trafford game, Shaqiri will come on and score 2 goals. And then another old scissors kick like the one he scored in pre-season against United would be nice. How are you feeling about the Bayern game? In a strange way, it might be nice to have that break, if that makes sense. It might be nice for the players to go and play a European game and not need to... Yes, you worry about the tie, of course, Kenny, but you don't need to worry about points. So I'm hoping maybe it's a positive thing. Bayern Munich over 2 games is going to be quite difficult, but I do fancy us to get through because I don't think they're quite as strong as they were in recent years. But you can never disrespect the club the size of Bayern Munich, so I'm expecting 2 good games. Does City have a game in hand? No, they don't. They're just playing before us. They had a fixture against Everton that was due to be played later on, but I think because of the League Cup final or the FA Cup, for some reason it had to be moved forward. So no, they don't have a game in hand. They're just going to play a game ahead of time, if you get me. Okay, where are we? Look at the plan on your left. The midfield is the problem. It's actually my right, but I get where you're coming from. Oh no, it is my left. You're right. You were right. Looking at the screen, it's my right, but it is technically my left. Yeah. Yeah, the midfield is the problem at the minute, and what I would say is there's nobody at the tip of that midfield to play between the lines. I'd rather see us go 4-2-1-3 and have that one in between the lines and have 2 almost holding central midfielders, but not quite holding. Somebody I would like to be able to back them up as well and always have Fabinho sitting there. But let's say, for instance, we dropped Keita back and got rid of Lallana there in the team, I would want somebody like a Fekir or a David Silva or somebody of that ilk or that creativity to be playing between the lines there and just basically running side to side trying to find space. Apart from Mane and Robertson, our play was slow. We're still going to win the league, said Frank H, which I agree with. Thank you very much, Frank. Guys, look, I think I've said it in a while, but we've managed to pass 8,000 subscribers tonight, which is a fantastic achievement for such a young channel like ours. We're only going 10 months now or something like that. This is our first full season, so if you're watching, whether you're an opposition fan or a Liverpool fan, and you're enjoying the conversation and the content, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button. All our content is free. It's always going to be free. It doesn't matter how big the channel might grow to. We're never going to charge for content because we don't believe in it. So if you're enjoying it, take a moment, hit that subscribe button, and of course drop a like on the stream. We try to hit 100 likes on every stream, and we're usually okay at doing it. So if you could take a minute to do that as well, that would be very much appreciated. My voice is so struggling. I've been on since 7:30, non-stop pretty much, except for that little 10-minute break. So if my voice starts going, bear with me. Camacho, we need at right back, put Fabinho in midfield. We're going to have Trent back, thankfully, for the next game by the look of things. Have you seen the Instagram comments? I mean, our own fans are saying we're bottling it. You're always going to get it, Kirby, unfortunately. Liverpool fans, as great as they are, they're very reactive. You go on social media after a loss or a draw and people's heads just fall off. There's nobody looking at the big picture. Well, excuse me, that's unfair. There's very few people looking at the big picture, and there's a lot of people that are just react and need to vent. And I understand that people come on and need to vent, and I try to allow people to do that on here. But it is frustrating. There's no other way. It is. You're gonna lose soon, said Mudasir. We've lost once all season, pal, to the champions away from home. So I'm okay where we are. Thank you very much. There's no denying we've put ourselves in a tighter spot than we'd like to, but let's see what the team is made of, said Brian. Yep. I mean, they're common sense comments you're putting up here, guys. I can't argue with them. Not that I want to argue. I want to agree with everything you guys are saying. Origi was good when he came on, but for fuck's sake, he should have finished that. He should have. I was offside though as well. Let's try and remember that. Although the lino never put the flag up. Congrats on the 8,000, Craig. Thank you very much, mate. It was a really strange night. We hit 8,000 subscribers, right? And then we lost 130. And then thankfully our subscribers helped us to get back up. I don't think we lost them. I think that we use, what is it called again? Live subscriber count or something is what we use for that number that you see there on the screen. That's not taken directly from YouTube. It's taken from a company that take their feed from YouTube, and sometimes that has a little bit of a stutter. I fully expect us to pick back up those 130 subs that we lost, and I think at some point you'll see a click and the number will just fly back up. But it was still strange during the game, and yeah, it was tough. It was tough to take. But thankfully, the amazing people that watched the channel rallied around us and got us back over the 8,000, because it was really shitty celebrating it and then looking a minute later and seeing that you were back down 130 subscribers because of a glitch in the system, I hope. But thank you to everyone that did rally around and help us out. You're absolutely amazing. 12 games to go. No one's bottling it. I think it's 13, Louis. I think, pal. I mean, it could be wrong. I think it's 13. Is Genie fit for the next game? It looks that way, Anto. Klopp said he was very close. We're nervous. It's been 29 years. 100% Liam, and it's just going to get nervier, pal. Today was the first game, actually, that I felt physically sick during with nerves. Being on here is helpful because I don't get a chance to overthink. I just keep reading, commenting, talking about what's going on. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. Oh, you meant Man United moved this here, sorry. I think we'll beat Bayern 5-0 over 2 legs. That's pretty confident stuff. What us fans need to do is get a laser and point to the opposition when they attack, or just release a load of black cats out onto the field and beach balls. Still can't believe that beach ball shit happened. That's thinking all the way back to that Sunderland game. That is absolutely madness. Social Blade, Connor, thank you. That's what we use. I bet if Origi scored, the linesman would have put his flag up to troll us. Still, he probably would have been fair. I mean, the decision would definitely have been fair. We go again against, but well, he couldn't have put his flag up because he put his flag down, Jose, to signal that he's onside. Once the linesman puts his flag down and points it towards the ground and keeps running, it tells the referee that he was onside. Hoping City drop points in the next two. Going to Swamp will be hard for us. Look, I fully expect them to go and beat Everton quite easily on Wednesday. Chelsea is going to be a tough game. Let's see what happens there. But it's down to us to just take care of our results. Anything that Manchester City drop will be a bonus, but we can't be expecting it or hoping for it. Well, we can hope for it, but we can't. When we're working out our points total, our Klopp sitting down with the guys, they can't bank on Manchester City dropping anything. They have to just carry on with their own performances and just worry about their games, because Manchester City's fixtures we can't control. We can only control the 13 games we've left. I don't think Liverpool will bottle it. If they do bottle it, it'll be funny. And not for us, Lee. It certainly won't be funny for me. Love your honesty, Craig. Thank you, pal. That's one thing I've said from the very day one on this channel. I'm going to be honest. I'm honest maybe to a fault at times because it gets me into trouble. But I don't see the point in coming on and telling people what they want to hear. I'll give you my honest opinion. If you don't like it, I respect that. And, you know, people are free to come and go as they please. But I'm not a fucking hypocrite. Well, yes, I defo am a hypocrite. Sorry, because we're football fans. We're all hypocrites. But I'm not going to lie. I don't say shit just for a reaction, or I say shit because it's how I feel. And yeah, but thank you for your comment. Liverpool signed Maddison from Leicester. Best 25 million spent. We should have signed him before he went to Leicester, Jacob. We looked at him, as I said, at the end of last year, and he picked up, I think it was a knee injury. At the end of the season for Norwich, and we backed off, and then Leicester pulled the trigger, and they've got themselves a very good player. Gary Richard said, Craig, this isn't title winning form. It most certainly is not, Gary, my friend. But you know, every team has a blip. Manchester City lost 2 games in a row, if memory serves correct. Were they in a row? If not in a row, in a very short period of time. And they're after bouncing back, so it's up to us to do the same. Can't moan about the ref. The first goal was yards offside. I'm moaning about the ref from a point of view of them as well, mate. I mean, the ref was shit, and the ref was shit for us today. We got the benefit of a shitty refereeing decision. I'm just fed up with Premier League referees being shit, full stop. Tonight it benefited us, but it still annoys me because we deserve better than that in this league. Connor said, we've bottled it and went from 4 points clear to 3 points clear over the past few weeks. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier on. That's exactly what I was trying to say earlier on. Before the Newcastle game, we were 4 points clear. City fucked up, we went 7 clear. We fucked up and drawn 2 games, and we're 1 point worse off than we were, but yet we've moved on 2 more games. There's always ways of spinning things and looking at things. We can try and spin it for a positive, we can try and spin it to a negative, or we can try and find somewhere in the middle where we're all trying to be a bit realistic. If we lose to Bournemouth, we've bottled it. With all due respect, Jack, we're not going to lose. We might drop points, don't get me wrong, but we haven't lost in the Premier League in 33 games at home. I don't think Bournemouth are going to be the ones to beat us. But we could drop points, don't get me wrong. I just don't think we'll lose, personally. Here come Tottenham, here come Man United. Man United are nowhere in this, pal. I mean, Spurs, Red Squirrel, yes, they're coming back into it, but United aren't in this conversation at all. They're doing very well, don't get me wrong, and really in the conversation for a 4th place finish, but they're not in the conversation with Spurs, Liverpool and Manchester City, let's be fair about that. Draws aren't worth much. Drawn 2 games gets you 2 points, winning 1, lose 1 gets you 3 points. Spurs have lost 6 games, so they're only 5 points behind. Yeah, fair enough, 19 line 8, I get you. But who's top of the league, Pat? That's my argument here. We're still top of the league. The league needs VAR, yes, but they also need officials capable of using it properly. And we've seen from the few occasions that English referees have had a chance with VAR in the cup games and stuff. And yes, I understand that you need practice with these things. They haven't been great with it. Jacob Me thinks Liverpool United will be a draw, and you know what, I would take that if it was on offer now. I know that might sound shitty, but I would take it. I would take it and move on, because it's another difficult game out of the way and we'd still technically have a lead. After a good night's sleep, it'll not look so bad. We'll bounce back on Saturday. I'm not going to lie, Sonia. I'm going to wake up tomorrow like a fucking antichrist over this. This will stop me from sleep and I'll be so angry. You get to calm me on here, believe it or not. I know I don't look like it during games, but you do get to calm Craig. When this camera goes off, I will be fuming for the next 24 hours. Klopp the flop. At it once again. Yep, Klopp the flop, who won the Bundesliga, beat Bayern Munich, won the German Cup. He's such a flop, isn't he? Such a flop. If only we had an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at our club. If only. A proven winner like, oh hang on, he relegated Cardiff. Interesting that, isn't it? We're giving the others a chance to make it a fight. I mean, we're just being fair, Vinny, that's right. Jack's page said not to be negative, but this seems very reminiscent of the build-up to us losing against Red Star. If we do end up losing it, I am pleading it to be the Bayern game. The home record only stands in the league, mate. The one I was talking about, 33 games. That's only in the Premier League. Bottle pool. You're so original, Ankle Socks. Did you think of it all on your own? Well done, mate. 5 stars for Bottle pool for Ankle Socks. Well done. Well done. Big tick, mate. Gold star and all that jazz. These teams coming up and piping it up because we've had 2 bad games. Look, we've got to take it as well, Louis. We dish it out, we've got to take it. Man United will win the Champions League, said Lee Newman. The thing about the Champions League is it really is open. I can't write off anybody. I don't think PSG will win the Champions League because I don't think that they're good enough when it comes down to the nitty gritty against really tough teams. I think they'll bottle it because they're not used to competition. It's honestly embarrassing to see some fans' reactions to the draw, stick with the team through thick and thin, or instead go off and join another team. One thing I will say is, it's tough to draw a line between people coming on and expressing their opinions and being pissed off and looking at a shit performance, which it was, let's be fair, it wasn't a great performance. And it's another thing then that I suppose go over the top, but I try to understand that people need to vent as well. It's just sometimes people do go that bit over the line. We need to step our shit. I think you mean step our shit up big time. We're better than this, Liam. It wasn't good enough, pal. You're right. It wasn't good enough. Craig, you know how to get a comeback when somebody tries to insult our club. Yeah, but tonight we deserve a little bit of abuse, Kirby, because we were shit. There's no 2 ways about it. I believe we'll go on and do it, but that performance deserves to be critiqued, and it deserves to be picked apart, and it deserves to be criticised. I think that's only fair. Mbappe will destroy Jones, said Andita. Liverpool fans are sweating, Manchester City are breathing down their necks. Well, look, to be fair, I mean, your other comment about bottle jobs was bollocks, but yes, of course we're nervous. I mean, we're human. We haven't won the league in 29 years. Of course we're nervous. We're human. I love seeing all the other teams coming on here, hopping up, which is fair enough, I guess. I mean, look, it's part and parcel of it. When we lose, they'll come on. When we win, they'll disappear. It is what it is. You start a channel, you expect it. It's fine. I understand it. I'm as long as people aren't calling anyone in our chat cunts, I get it. It's fine. Sorry, I'm just trying to pick through the comments here. There's a lot of them that's been taken away. Kate is getting too much stick. He needs more time to adapt. Up until today, I think the critiquing that he got was fair, but I thought he was a bit better today. Still, none of us were good enough, but I thought he was a bit better. Charlie Cramsey said, evening Craig, only in here now from my pal's house. Shocking tonight. We need to stop being so sloppy after we concede. We need to lift the team and stay with them. We're still on top. Yes, mate, fully agree with everything you've said there, Charlie. It just wasn't good enough, but we are thankfully still top. Yeah. Spurs fans tried to say we're bigger bottlers. Whatever, fuck Spurs fans. If LFC win the Champions League, then I think Barca will. It's a very open competition this season, actually, in fairness, the Champions League. It's tough to pick a winner from it. Barca, of course, can beat anyone on their day if they turn it on. Real Madrid just look a shadow of themselves. They really do. City, of course, you would consider. Liverpool, you would consider. United, if you can't rule out United. They have European pedigree. Anything can happen in the Champions League. Although PSG, I still stand over the fact I don't think they're going to win it. Nor do I don't think they'll win it at any point, because they don't have enough competition. And when it comes down to the really tough games and the nitty gritty, I just think their players seem like they're too pampered or something. Oh my god, so many channels slagging us off. At the end of the day, we're still top of the league. It's fair. We win, we boast. We draw or lose, we take the shit that comes our way. It's part of the fun of being on here, isn't it? I mean, I've ripped apart Arsenal, I've ripped apart United, I've ripped apart Spurs, I've ripped apart City, I've ripped apart Chelsea. I expect their fans to do the same. It's part of the fun and beauty of being on here. It's not great when it's your turn to take it, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Firmino needs to practice passing. Yes, I would agree with that one. Or BB. More depth in defence, low and inclined still makes no sense. I agree with that, Luke Dolan. United versus Liverpool Champions League final. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? I'll tell you one thing though, it'd be hilarious, but the atmosphere inside the Wanda Metropolitano for that final would be unbelievable. Think criticising Solskjaer is harsh. He's turned us round. We shouldn't be piping up. I haven't criticised him, Josh. I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, United has done a great job so far, and it's been very simple what he's done. He's come in, he's put an arm around the players, and he's got the good feeling back. And I've given Manchester United nothing but credit, Josh, over the past few weeks. It's fucking choked me doing it, but how could I not? They've lost no games. They've drawn one game and won the rest. You cannot argue that he's had a positive influence on the team. I was just having a go at the other guy because he was trying to come at the channel or come at us, you know what I'm saying? But like, yes, I agree. He's done very well. But he did relegate Cardiff. You have to agree with that one as well. But he's probably learned from it, and he's probably progressed his managerial style, gone to mould and learned a bit more. It's part of the fun of the game. Right, what have we got? At the beginning of the season, never thought the Reds would be where they are now, so positive thoughts only. I didn't think we would be either. I think at the start of the league, I would have said, if we can be within striking distance at the end of the season, that would have been great. But in saying that, we've got ourselves into a position now where, we should be, we're top of the league. We should be looking to go and win it. Anthony Peters said Cato was better. He needs to improve when he loses the ball. Strolling back in the first half when he lost the ball on occasions improved us as the game went on. Yep, agree with that as well. Guys, we're 38 subscribers away from 8,100, so if I can ask you for a favour, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, we've about 20 minutes left on tonight's stream, and then we're going to head off and we'll be back tomorrow. But if you can do that favour for us, if you're enjoying the content, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Why do City play Wednesday? They have to move the game forward because of cup fixtures, I believe, further on down the line. Kingo's Magnet. So I think that's why it was moved forward to Wednesday. I think they didn't actually want it moved forward. I think they wanted to push back. Okay, some more comments. Where are we? I'm pretty sure unbeaten home record does include the Champions League. Not the one I'm talking about, Jack. Not the 33. Look, I could be wrong, pal, but I'm sure I read the other day it was the Premier League. But as I said, I'm always open to being wrong. When City are 3 points clear, I'll start worrying, but that won't happen, said Frank H. It will be interesting to see how people's nerves go if City beat Everton on Wednesday and go top on goal difference. It will be funny. Michael Gaming said, tonight saw in the last 10 minutes, Salah ball drop, should have hit it in the volley, 20 people in front of him trying to control the ball, striking too many touches instead of taking a shot. Excuse me. What have we got? Kirby said, which club do you think bottles it when their star man is transfer injured in the Premier League? I don't know, mate. I don't want to think about bottling it from any perspective. I want to think about winning it. I prefer Milner in that midfield to Ben Rafferty. I think it was just needs must tonight. It was tough because I can understand why people would want Fabinho at right back as well, but I think he offers a bit more in that 6 than we could get from anyone else that was available today. Brian and Missy, the Bulldog Bully, said we're going to win the league. Yes, mate. Damn fucking tootin'. Darn tootin', is that what they say? Sorry lads, I'm whacked after that tonight. Good night, Craig. Vinny, I'm with you, pal. I'm absolutely exhausted here. I feel like I've gone through the mill tonight. I'm wrecked. Jason McCarthy, how are you, sir? Arsenal have proved tippy-tappy slow pass and will not win the league. Liverpool are playing that way. We're Studio 7, I think we're being a bit too obvious in what we're doing, if that makes sense. Moving the ball side to side, trying to pull opposition teams that are sitting back out of place to create space. It's very easy for other teams to drill for training in that. Sometimes you just need that magic spark, don't you? You need something special, and sometimes you can get out of trouble by a goal from 30 yards or something. We got our goal tonight, but we didn't defend, we didn't see it out, and our goal was very fortuitous because it was offside. Let's all shoot ourselves in the head with a load of DMT. That would be exploding the rod. It wouldn't really be shooting, would it, if it was DMT? It would more be an explosion. Understand, mate. Top man. Want to say good luck for the rest of the season, but I get you, Josh. I mean, fair is fair. I understand where you're coming from, pal. Thank you for dropping in, though. And I hope you beat PSG. As much as I don't like United, I fucking despise PSG. I really do. Subscribed and good night. Thank you, pal. Really kind of you. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name. There's too many ugs and GHs in it, mate, but thank you. Katie showed a good moment tonight when he didn't overthink. The moment he stopped was like the signal interrupted on a phone and he messed up. Do you think United will beat Liverpool at Old Trafford? Possible, Jamie. I mean, it's going to be a good game. United are at home. You revitalise Manchester United. Absolutely, it's possible, but it's also possible we go there and get a win or a draw. So it's going to be a good game, though. I'm looking forward to it, while being nervous at the same time. Charlie said, I really think this summer we should sign Matthias de Ligt, such a young talent. We won't, though, unfortunately, mate, as much as I'd love to, and I agree with you. We've got Joe Gomez, we've got Van Dijk. Maybe if we moved on Lovren and Matip, we could free up some cash and do it. I think he's going to have a load of people trying to get him, though, in the summer. But there's no arguing about his quality. I mean, the dude is absolute class. I'm pretty sure the unbeaten run, I've done that one already. What miracle of technology that we could enjoy the game all the way down under? So much better than bonking roos all night. You've lost me, Rod. Has somebody accused you of being a backwards fucker or something because you live in Australia? Liam Granby said, that game has burnt my freaking head out this time. This mate Matip like Bambi on ice. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, my head's a bit melted here as well, so if I'm not computing stuff, bear with me. Theodore said, I hope City wins the league. I don't understand that, mate. Unless you're a Manchester City fan, which of course makes perfect sense. If you're not, I don't understand why you'd want a club run that way to win the league, personally. De Ligt is going to PSG. I thought it was Barcelona, but either way I don't expect him to come to Liverpool. Just seeing what happened. Kade lost the ball at bad times and noticed he didn't try to get the ball back. Do you agree? No, I don't. I think Kade was the only one taking on players in the midfield today. I think he went past a couple of players, ran into some really good positions. Yeah, I don't know after that, to be fair. He made mistakes. They all did. They were all a bit soft with their passing. 24,000, Connor. I think we'll pass that. I think we will go past those expected views, personally, but it is what it is, buddy. Still 24,000 at the end of the day. De Ligt signed pre-contract with Barcelona. I don't know if he did, Jacob. I agree that that's most likely where he'll end up, because that's what I'd read as well, but I don't know if he did sign the pre-contract. I know that they signed a deal for what's his fucking name? The guy from Ajax, De Jong, Frankie De Jong. I know they signed him, and that's all done and dusted for the summer. I don't think they have De Ligt on a pre-contract. Could be wrong, though. We can still win it, but I feel momentum is with City going to be a struggle, and our fan base is too reactionary, which could cost us. We definitely are a reactionary fan base. Definitely. 100%. I agree with you on that one. Is momentum with City? Maybe, possibly. But at the end of the day, it's still down to us. I'm trying to take positives anyone I can. Still down to us. It's our league to, I'm not going to say the word, need to smash Bournemouth and sit down the non-believers, sit LFC forever. Yeah, we need that performance, that statement performance. We were hoping it was going to be tonight. We were hoping it was going to be against Leicester. Wasn't great. Craig Weston said Klein, Robbo is knackered. VVD is edgy because our midfield has no solidity without Wijnaldum, Milner and Hendo. Again, thankfully it looks like they'll be back soon enough. Why did they have to go to Dubai? They didn't have to, Red Squirrel. They went because the manager wanted to remove them from the environment that they were in, to give them a bit of a fresh break. And you know, sometimes a bit of a holiday, not a holiday, it wasn't a holiday, but you know, sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone, moving somewhere else, gives you a fresh perspective and a fresh way of looking at things. That and the fact that it was to just rest their legs, put a bit of vitamin K in their skin from the sunshine, get them together on the training ground, and they haven't had that long together on the training pitch for ages actually. So he had that 10 days in between games and he just decided to do it. A lot of clubs do it. I think if you go to the Premier League, you'll see a lot of clubs have probably had little trips like that. Madsy said, I can't bloody believe tonight. It was shocking, Madsy. It wasn't good enough, pal. So does Liverpool always have to bottle it all the time? They won't bottle it. It's a fucking draw. We're still top of the league. Christ almighty. I mean, yes, it was a shitty performance, but we are the ones that are still top of the league. Go back to 2 weeks ago, we were 4 points clear. 2 weeks on, we're 3 points clear. We're 1 point worse off. That's the way I'm choosing to look at it. What else have we got? Vitamin K. Yes, from the sun. Isn't it vitamin K? I'm sure it's vitamin K from the sun. I could well be wrong on that one. Is it not vitamin K from the sun? Somebody is intelligent out there will let me know. Is it vitamin K, vitamin D, vitamin... I don't fucking know. I thought it was vitamin K. I could be completely wrong. I usually am, Norbert. The break in Dubai did Mane the world of good. He's looked better since the break. Chronic Sneaky. You put your comment in 5 times, pal. It's got less and less fucking funny every time. I mean, just keep writing it in and I'll keep ignoring it. How funny is that? Vitamin K and vitamin D. Thank you very much. Vitamin D3 from the sun. There you go, Larry. Making me look like a fool, but thank you very much. I thought there was vitamin K in the sun. Maybe I'm just making shit up. I usually fucking am. I usually talk nonsense. Jay Coughlin, you're so funny, mate. I wish I was as funny as Jay Coughlin. I really do. Someday, Jay. Someday I can go onto Twitter or YouTube and have ages to think about a comment. I mean, literally an hour and a bit, and come up with that. Mwah! Brilliant, Jay. Well done, mate. Boolabus. Craig got more and more who think Liverpool are bottlers. I don't care, Joanne, about people who think we're bottlers. Fuck them. As I've said from the very start, pal. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. I believe in this team. I believe in this group. I believe in this manager. So, fuck the non-believers. Doubters to believers, Joanne. I know it's cheesy, but fuck them all. Vitamin D from the sun. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for pulling me up on that one. Canadian with advice on the sun. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Larry. I mean, I'm Irish. I'm just as bad giving that advice as well. I mean, we don't see too much of it here. Minus 27. Wow, that's cold, Larry. It was -2 here last night and I was nearly crying. Not enough bald nonce comments on this channel. The trolls are disappointing, said Connor. We did have a Bateson one though tonight, Connor. I haven't seen that one in a while. The lack of creativity from trolls, it is honestly terrible. If you read some of the comments and that we see when the streams are over, they can't spell. I mean, literally they've got fucking spell check, and whether they're on their phones or whatever, and these idiots can't string a sentence together and they expect us to take their slagging seriously. Callum said, people going on like we lost it, but realistically if any team was told to start with 13 games to go, they'd be top with 3 points. They take it. Look, everything in perspective as well. I mean, yes, momentum might have shifted a little bit, let's be fair about that, but it's still in our own hands, and that's all I'm going to keep saying until it's not in our own hands. Do you think you've more of a chance in signing Rabiot than Werner? I think Werner's up for grabs, Kirby. There's no arguing that his contract has 1 year to run at the end of this season, and unless he signs a new deal, they have to sell. So yeah, Rabiot's there on a free, so if anybody wants to give him enough money, he's available. There's no argument with that one either. But I think Werner is probably more likely. Why loan out Klein? Tasha, everybody agrees with that, pal. I don't know what to say to you. None of us understand why. None of us. You're not the first person tonight, mate, and you won't be the last. A lot of us are scratching our heads as to why that happened. What do you think of Chelsea and City next Sunday? I'm not going to lie, Aaron. I'm going to be praying that Chelsea do us a favour. But we can't rely on other teams. We've got to keep it in our own hands. And that's all I can say, mate. It's squeaky bum time. There's no doubt in it. And there's going to be more of this before the season's out. But you know what? We're in a fucking title race. And I love it. I love that this club are in a title race. I want us to be the winners at the end of it. But you know what? We're in a damn title race. And we're better off than we have been in previous years. Still no excusing that shitty performance tonight and the shitty performance against Leicester. But we're where we need to be. We're at the top of the table. This season's like a roller coaster. We need to relax. We're top. We can still do it. It's on you. It's fun. It's you know what I've said to you before. You've got to take all the little wins, all the little losses, all the high moments, all the lows. It all combines into a season, and you have these wonderful moments and occasions and downs and negatives and highs and lows. And at the end of it, we're all just hoping that we're standing there and the club is a piece of silverware at the end of it. And then we'll see if all this was worth it. That's all we can do, guys. None of us can predict what's going to happen over the next 13 games. All we can do is hope that the guys do it. Sorry about all the questions. My dad says I need to bring in real quality strikers so Firmino can play as a 10. Do you agree? Yes, absolutely. I think it's a good show. I'd love for Firmino to play in that 10, but he also needs to buck up his level a bit. He's been great lately. But I agree with your dad on that one, Charlie. It's minus 44 in Siberia. Wow. I don't even want to begin to consider how cold that is. It's not called a title race for nothing, said Stevie Richards. Spot on, pal. Guys, I'm afraid I'm going to have to call it a night because my voice has given up. I feel like my throat's almost cut at this point. I've been talking so much. I'll chat to you all tomorrow at the same time at about 10:15. To everyone that joined us for the match tonight and everyone that joined us in the post-match show, thank you so much. To all our new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Hope you continue to enjoy the content. To our regulars, you know we love you. Appreciate the shit out of you. Thanks for standing by us through everything. The wins, the losses, the draws and everything in between. It means a lot to us. We appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I'll chat to you tomorrow, guys. Look after your families. Tell your loved ones you love them. Hit the motherfucking subscribe button and up the motherfucking Reds. Love, guys. Take care. Up the motherfucking Reds.